and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the elimination match. The elimination match here of the Rex April Madness Group D. We have our Terran versus Terran ready for you. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the other South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our fresh best of 5. As a reminder, this is a best of 5 elimination match, which means the loser is out of the tournament and the winner will advance on to face off against Rogue in the decider match. Oh boy, so 2 series left, 2 series remaining here in the broadcast, and we'll see how this does unfold. Again, Ryung, of course, he is the TvT sniper. Ryung is one of, if not the main reason why Clem no longer plays TvT. He's like, I do place a lot of blame onto Ryung for that one. He just knocked Clem into Protoss is what happened. Smooch. God damn it, Ryung. God damn it. So coming into this, I do lean towards Ryung, but these two do go back and forth. They do go back and forth here. ByuN, of course, he has a much more active style in TvT. I love how he does often rush into earlier stim timings, earlier second racks timings, and a more drop heavy style. Meanwhile, Ryung is very positional based. He's very positional based. Not saying he plays mech, but he often plays bio tank into a more robust army. And we'll see how our players do get into game 1. We'll see how they get into the mid game. Let's go. Let us go. 100% favorite ByuN. I mean, you can think what you want, I suppose. As we do settle in. So far, racks expand. Economic openers here from our two players. Do have our economic openers, and we'll see how we do get into said mid game. So far, racks into factory. Again, I'm really keeping my eye open here for the timing of that second racks from ByuN. I do expect a 1-1-1 out of our red Terran player, but we'll see if our blue Terran also reciprocates. Hello. What's going on? As ByuN, he does go for a very, very fast third TC. That is a third TC before starport. Very greedy build here by ByuN, very risky, and we'll see if he can get away with said greed. Este ByuN. Again, I love his style of TvT. Again, it's often very risky and very intense. Very active as well. Reapers poke in, they delayed the CC. Oh, sorry, they delayed the starport, I should emphasize. So starport is delayed quite heavily, actually. Likewise, gets 2 more workers, so 2 workers in total. Nice damage so far. Ryung does have to get back on that starport, has to try to stabilize, and so far ByuN doing a great job here, just keeping Ryung busy. And the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for ByuN as he tries to get away with that faster CC timing. Now, what I should emphasize here is eventually Ryung will confirm what's going on. And once he does, he has to make a decision. Can he punish? Can he delay? That's the problem here, or that's going to be the issue. Early on, not the biggest of deals, as both Reapers do get shut down. Nice clean up here from Ryung. I will say that those 2 Reapers did pay for themselves. They were able to successfully get 2 SCVs. They delayed the starport as well. They delayed the build of Ryung quite successfully. They also, more importantly, kept Ryung busy. They kept him busy back at home. And again, we'll see when and if he's able to scout and confirm what's happening. I would say, for example, if he were to confirm this early on, I would love to see like a 2-port response, like 2-port 2-base all in. We have seen that be quite successful against ByuN, even earlier this morning when we casted ByuN versus Cure. Did see Cure pop off. So now we do have the early medevac. Interesting. So Ryung is moving out early on. Just waiting for his Cyclone, for his push. I do like this aggressive start here by Ryung. He doesn't really know what he's moving into. He doesn't know how greedy ByuN really is being. We'll see how successful he's going to be, though, with those 2 Cyclones. As here we go. He boosts across the map. Now, again, this is delayed. This is a delayed push, and unfortunately, because of that delay, the first tank is out. The first tank has arrived, so a big moment here for ByuN. His tank is getting in position. Again, this does hit a little bit late. Can Ryung get on top of the tank? Oh, Gets a lock on. Does get a lock on. Tank fully goes off. And the tank is barely going to go down. Boys are being pulled. SCV is going to be falling. The Cyclone did fall though. But that's going to be how many SCV kills? That's going to be what? 5, 6, 7 SCV so far. Just getting it to 6. That is good economic damage. It's a strong start here for ByuN. If only there wasn't a third CC. So ByuN, he can afford these losses. He can afford these losses. Ooh, as another SCV goes down. Ryung, nice control. He does pull away. Successful attack. Ryung does take a worker lead. He throws down 2 more Raxes, getting his own third TC. But ByuN is able to recover and make 3 SCVs at a time. So on the one hand, yes, ByuN lost a lot of workers, but because of his build, he can afford to lose some workers. Now the downside for ByuN is that he would have liked to have had a greater economic lead and a greater economic advantage. Because of the economic damage that was dealt, that's less the case. Is going to be less of the case here for ByuN. Behind this, getting into the rest of his bio, into Stim, into his own Viking production as well. Meanwhile, we do see Ryung playing a much more standard style, getting into additional Ravens. It is double Raven here for ByuN. Meanwhile, Ryung is getting into triple Raven. So extra Raven here for Ryung. Likewise, he moves out. Again, Ryung, he hasn't really confirmed what's going on. He does see the tank Raven setup, but he does set up here at the third base location. He moves in and he will scout the production. Again, Ryung, he's posturing. This will deter ByuN from expanding. Oh, I say that. ByuN now taking a CC. Ryung, he moves away. Not quite in position. Not in position. ByuN, he moves in to make sure that he's safe. But both players are taking their third CCs. Had a similar timing here. Ryung does a slight worker advantage. And we have a game. We have a back and forth. In the end, those 7 SCV kills at the start of the game were enough to equalize things here for Ryung. When it comes to the main armies, what do we have? We do have a 1 tank lead for ByuN. So our blue Terran, he's up by 1 tank. He also has the greater Viking count. Instead, Ryung has a greater Raven count. Speaking of Ravens though, yeah, reverse Raven does fall. Massive pickoff. Yeah, Ryung gets caught out. Massive catch here. Disable popping off. And Ryung is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble right now. Again, he lost the free Raven, lost the tank. ByuN is in a better position. And he's reinforcing. He's reinforcing with another tank. He's not going to be... he's not going to be backing off. He's pushing forward. Pushing towards that natural. And Ryung, he goes for the stim. Oh, good. Takes on 1 Raven. Oh, there's from behind. Let's go. Comes in from behind. Disables 3 of the tanks. There's 1 tank left. And Ryung, he will defend. He will shut this down. He gets 1. He gets 2 tanks. There's still 2 tanks remaining, though. And he will clean this up again. Very nice flank here by Ryung. As we mentioned, he is known for his positional play and good positioning here. Solid. Whew. And ByuN did overextend. Unfortunately, he didn't see the rotation. Didn't see the Ravens. He did have the Vikings, but the Vikings were not in position to zone. They were not in position. ByuN is dealt with. So Ryung, he's going to be pushing forward. Likewise, 4 CC in position here for Ryung. It's going to be thrown down on location. ByuN, he stims across the map, so does Ryung. Ryung, he does have 1 disable. Meanwhile, does catch reinforces. Massive pickoff here from ByuN. Yeah, boys being pulled. SCV's going to be going down. They have to be pulled here to defend. Yeah, and there's a rough defense here for Ryung. Going to be losing everything. 22 SCV kills. He's all in. At this point, he's all in. He will deny the 3rd, but back at home, he's losing everything. Again, a Hail Mary play here from ByuN. Tank volley's going off. Do we have another disable? Not quite yet. Meanwhile, ByuN, he kills the natural, now going for the 3rd. And Ryung, does he turn around? He's turning around, he's racing back home. Not like this. Bleeding out more SCVs. Bleeding out more workers. And again, this 1 Marine run by is winning ByuN this game. As he does take a massive supply lead, economic and army. Loses one medevac. But again, this is what ByuN is best at. He's best at going for these either drop play or just run bys, stimming across the map. It is often very risky. It's it's not the most reliable way to play, but it has its moments. Now, speaking of stimming across the map, I mean, let's do it again. let's go. Again, just mass marine. Does get spotted. Now, in a head-on fight, I do favor Ryung's army, assuming he tanks and he does siege in time. ByuN, he doesn't commit. Remember, he knows he got spotted. These tanks, they do siege up. Army gets baited in. 2 volleys go off. Not bad. And again, this is what Ryung needs. Ryung, he needs to try to catch this army out of position, if at all possible. We have 3-3 on the way here for ByuN, doubling down on mass marine, making 9 marines at a time. Now, Ryung does have his tank advantage, true. He still has the ravens as well. This is why I do say that in a head-on fight, I favor Ryung, but ByuN doesn't have to go for a head-on fight, as he has a more mobile army. Once again, catching reinforcements. Ryung out of position. Marine's gonna be going down. Ryung, he ignores it. He just keeps going. We're going for the base raid. Wait, we're going for the base raid. He moves out. ByuN has so many marines back at him to defend. Tanks do siege. Nice and stable. Another tank goes down. ByuN pushing right down mid, going for the third. Meanwhile, third CC is gonna be going down for both players. Oh my god. ByuN going for the drop. Up. Does attempt to. Whew. Ryung, he reacts in time. The CC gets saved. Ryung, he does have the greater army supply. ByuN has potential for surround. He has 2 groups of marines out on the map. Reinforcements on the way. ByuN trying to come in from behind. Nice anti-arm missile. Missile goes off. ByuN being forced back. ByuN getting ready to play. He does pull the boys. He commits. It's all or nothing. Does pull the boys. Tanks are exposed. Yeah, the order starts to know where they need to be. Ravens go down as well. Best fight that ByuN could have hoped for. And saying that, though, there are still too many marines. Oh. Tanks, they hold the line. There's 2 tanks on the high ground. 3 tanks even. But bear this in mind. ByuN is on 2 bases. He's on 2 bases. He lost his 4th, or he doesn't have a 4th base. The 3rd base is now landing. Ryung back at home. He has more bases. He has a greater income. Ryung takes a lead. And can he kill the CC? He spots it. He does spot it. Does them in. Takes down the command center. ByuN is in trouble. And Ryung just has to take it slow. Like, there's no pressure. There's no pressure on Ryung to, like, commit in and try to break this position. You just calm things down, take it slow. Throw down more sensor towers. ByuN gets caught out. I mean, they catch each other. Again, 3-3 comes into play. Better upgrades here for ByuN. And ByuN, he will overwhelm. Yeah, he takes the fight. Not the fight that Ryung was hoping for. I mentioned it, that he doesn't have to take the fight here. Doesn't have to move out. Calm down, Papi, calm down. The upgrade superior for the blue Terran, catching up more medevacs. Ryung, he's racing back. He falls back onto 3 bases. ByuN is back in this game. He was down like 20 supply. Now recovering. And now the tank count has been equalized. So even tank count. Greater marine count for Ryung, but again, the upgrades are lacking. He's still halfway done +3, and he hasn't started +3 armor. Just doesn't have the minerals for it. Now, I'm hoping that ByuN doesn't drop into the main. After knocking down this Senshawa, he shouldn't. He shouldn't, as he's been spotted. You see Ryung, he's hoping for that to happen. It's like, oh no, I have nothing in the main base. I'm so exposed. He pulls away. Pulls away, double expanding. That is the natural. He floats over the natural as a fresh mining base. So ByuN takes the supply lead. And again, Ryung, he was ahead multiple times in this game. Like, he was in some good positions, but alas, that has since fallen by the wayside. ByuN now with a greater economy, still maintaining better upgrades. Now, those upgrades are eventually going to be tied up, true. Like, +3 attack is just now finishing. So Ryung, he's catching up in upgrades. When it comes to the tank count, is now in favor of ByuN. But he does have to be careful. Tank shot goes off. ByuN, calm down. Tank shots going off. Ryung trying to keep up with the rotations. There's a stim. It does stim in. Ryung in quite a position. Tanks are exposed. They're going to go down. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 tanks. 4 tanks do fall. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Ryung not where he needs to be. ByuN now rotating once again. Sorry, Ryung now rotating once again. Sims in, gets a tank. Not bad. Takes down the tank. Ryung pulls away. He does float over his main. His main does float over as a 4th. Setting up a surround. He's going for it. Gets a tank. Takes down a tank. ByuN, he is spread thin. Consolidates his army. Looking at the units tab here, ByuN still has a greater tank count, but he's now down in Bio, down in Marines. Oof. Tank shot goes off. Ryung stimming forward. A bold move here by Ryung. Collapse on the army, gets through tanks. He doesn't have enough. Yeah, not enough here. Not enough to push through. Has to fall back. That was risky. Likewise gets another tank. Nice pickoff. Takes down one more tank. Likewise moving in. Liberators, they will complicate things. Has to commit. Oh, please add a lot of Marines taking down that one Liberator. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Ryung falling in supply here. Has to resaturate. Transferring over. But the game is slowing down. Again, it's so difficult to push through these bridges. Like, it goes both ways. But tanks say lock these bridges down. We don't have another Liberator yet. Not yet. Just building up more Bio. There we go. One Liberator now on the way. Liberators, they can break these siege positions. And ByuN does have the Viking lead. Behind this, going for a 5th CC on location. Where's Ryung pulling a ByuN? Let's go, going for a run by. He can deny the 5th. That would be a big moment for him. Yeah, he stims in. Stims in, finds the expansion, should force a cancel. Nice pickup. So the economy is still even. ByuN doesn't take a lead, but the Liberator has arrived. Yeah, Ryung has to respect it. He has to pull away. Positioning. I'm loving that one Marine stim to tank the shot. Ryung, he bypasses the entire army. He's crazy. He gets caught on the right hand side. At the same time, Ryung is moving in, and oh, ByuN, he notices. He does notice in time. He does try to respond. A couple of tanks do siege. Despite that, mining is being denied. ByuN going for a counterattack. Liberator's back at home. ByuN stemming in. Yeah, Ryung, you cannot stop this. There's just too many Marines. And that'll be a kill on the CC. Brutal pickoff. This rotation from Ryung just wasn't quite worth it. He can try to collapse on this position though. True. It's a brutal spread of tanks though. He's setting up for it. I'm not too convinced, I'll be honest. But he's going for it. He comes us around. He's pushing into what, 7 tanks? He takes down the first line of 4. Takes down 4 tanks, gets a 5th. Getting a 6th. Getting all 7. Up. Oh my, it costs so many Marines though. So many Marines. Oh god. Yeah, Ryung here extends towards the end. His tanks are exposed, and ByuN will clean everything up. GG gets called. ByuN, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG will played a very intense back and forth. Ryung, he definitely had some strong moments in that game, but ByuN, if you recall, the one moment where he was able to gain momentum was when he went for one big push through the left-hand side with his Marines. He just sent it across the map right down mid. He was able to get, how many SCVs? Was it like 17? 17-ish? No, 22. 22 SCVs went down to his Ling run by, sorry, to his Marine run by. I believe he killed the natural base as well. And that kind of sealed the deal when it came to his advantage. He did take a massive lead from that moment. We saw that Ryung did a great job when it came to recovering and even things up. But for the most part, he was still slightly behind. He was still trying to catch up, down in Vikings, down in Liberators. And in the end, GG. GG well played. ByuN takes game number 1. Whew, let's go. And I look forward to the rest of the series here. If this is what game 1 looks like, show us all 5 games, Papi. Let's go. Let's go. As we are setting up and getting ready. As looks like our players, they need a moment here. Do need a moment. As a reminder, that game even started with ByuN rushing to the 3rd CC. That was crazy. Which Ryung did punish, and he recovered from. True, true. Oh. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into map of choice. Where are we headed? Where are we dropping? It is going to be Whispers of Gold. Whispers of Gold, of course, being a much smaller map. The map pool, this is where I do favor someone like ByuN. I feel like Ryung's strengths are going to be really shown off on these larger maps. On these smaller maps, though, that's where he can struggle. That's where ByuN is going to be favored, or I should say that's where aggression is favored. As it takes less time to get across the map, less time to counterattack, less time to move in. Oh boy. That is something to bear in mind when it comes to this tournament map pool, is that a lot of the maps are smaller. There are less larger maps, so that is going to be a factor coming into this. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the other South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. We go. And again, welcome one and all to Whispers of Gold. Whispers of Gold being one of the smaller maps of the map pool, a much smaller map. Likewise, the 3rd and 4th bases are more exposed, they're more vulnerable, there's less high ground to take advantage of, especially at the linear 3rd base. And even at this triangular 3rd base, there's another avenue of attack here towards the center of the map. You can knock down these rocks, you can move in, and we have seen many players struggle to defend on Whispers of Gold. Oh, double gas. Interesting. So double gas opener here out of Ryung does open up with a faster factory, and meanwhile 2 ranks opener, 2 ranks Reaper out of ByuN. So in this opener, I do favor Ryung here. Ryung's opener is designed to shut down proxy play and to shut down aggression. This isn't quite proxy, but 2x Reaper nonetheless. So the way this works here is that Ryung will have faster Hellion production. With faster Hellions, he should have a much more secure defense. This 2x opener here by ByuN is gonna struggle to get damage done. I mean, it's still ByuN, right? Like, he can still try to out-control his opponent and get damage done regardless, but he has to work against the build as well of Ryung. So there are multiple factors that are going to be working against him. We'll see if he can pull this off. We'll see if he can gain value here and get some damage done. Here we go. As the first Reaper does move out, meanwhile Factory's on the way. Again, that's going to be for the eventual Hellions. Reapers are amassing. Reapers here to move in. Light goes around behind this, building up back at home. Hellion is halfway done. And upon seeing both Reapers, he should know. Yeah, ByuN backs off. He saw how late the CC was, so the CC timing told ByuN everything he needs to know. He now knows that there's a Hellion, that there's a faster Factory. We'll see if he can focus the Hellion down. Speaking of, focus in. Will delay the CC. CC is delayed, so we get some damage, which is nice, but with a 2x Reaper opener, you ideally want some more. Now, the other important thing to take note of here is the follow-up. Now, from 2x Reaper, this leads into a 2-1-1. Oh, never mind. But this can lead into a 2-1-1. We'll see when he gets into his stim timing. Now he's going for an add-on swap, so tech lab on the Factory, not staying on the racks. Bear that in mind. Ooh, meanwhile, Ryung is getting ready for a counterattack. Cyclones are on the way, medevac as well. It's not going to be an easy defense here for ByuN. The Cyclone is going to be crucial here in defending back at home. As Reapers, they get 2, they get up to 3 SCVs. Cyclone has arrived. Finally, Ryung can break out and he can finally expand. Meanwhile, ByuN back at home. CC is already done. The pressure is now on Ryung to get some damage done. Here we go, he does boost across the map. And what do we have at home to defend? We have 1 Cyclone. 1 Cyclone, 5 Marines. Now, ByuN cannot afford to lose this Cyclone. Can't afford to lose this. As Ryung does move in ahead of time. Cyclone does get a lock-on. Lock-on is going to be broken. Oh my god. Yeah, Ryung doesn't pull away far enough. And with that, ByuN should be able to hold on. I say that lock-on is brutal. Cyclone is going to go down. Cyclone does fall. The Marines do fall. He has control of the low ground. Another Cyclone does arrive. Lock-on on the medevac. And Ryung, he will barely break the lock-on. Gets 4 CVs, but ByuN will hold. Oh, he wants it! Oh no! He wants the medevac! Oh my god, does hold it in time. Oh, meanwhile, ByuN loses the medevac instead, and Ryung, he rallies through. He does break the position, he does break the natural, and looks like he has enough to break his opponent. Boys are being pulled. GG gets called, and Ryung ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. Does tie things up again. It was just a really rough start for ByuN, as we mentioned. Opening up 2x Reaper against 1-1-1 was a brutal position. He was able to delay the CC, but it does mean that the rest of his production was delayed. The rest of his army was delayed, his factory, more importantly, his Cyclones, and we saw that Ryung was able to overwhelm. It wasn't just about the openers though. It was also about the follow-up. Very important that Ryung did go for the medevac follow-up into the very early drop across the map, so he was able to punish ByuN for his build. So the punish was real. GG. Whew. GG, well played. With that, we have our back and forth. Here we go. As we do get into Amygdala from here. For game 3, Amygdala, a much larger map of the map pool. This is where, as I mentioned before, I was talking about how smaller maps are going to be favoring the aggressive nature of ByuN. These larger maps are going to be favoring the more defensive play here of Ryung instead. We'll see if ByuN can surpass that though. We'll see. I would not be surprised if we see a proxy, by the way. that would be a way to just bypass and try to get around a longer game here on Amygdala. We'll see. We'll see. Here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Amygdala. We have our South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran being forced into a tied series. We'll see if he can bring it back. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player from South Korea. Representing Team Vitality, it is Ryung. Here we go. We are going to be settling into this, and yep, we did assume this would happen. Now, to be fair, I thought it was going to be ByuN. If you recall, coming into this game, I was like, yeah, don't be surprised if we see 2x Reaper, if we see a proxy. I thought it was going to be ByuN. I thought ByuN would 2x Reaper Ryung in this game. I like that it's the opposite. I like that it's the reverse here, just because I feel like we have certain expectations, right? We have the expectation that Ryung would open up economically. Because of that, mind games, and ByuN, he does go for the faster CC on the low ground. He does move out for an SCV scout. Now, this is a much more common proxy location. There is a very high chance that ByuN will scout this, but ByuN is going for a delayed factory, so ByuN is going to be in a rough position. It's going to be in a rough position here. It's not going to be an easy defense here for ByuN. Ryung, he has momentum, he has opportunity. He has a good chance here to make this work. So here we go. Reapers are on the way. As Reapers, yeah, they are building up across the map. ByuN, he has yet to confirm. Now, this first Reaper should be scouting, should be checking here at the proxy locations. Oh! Yeah, true. SCV scout. SCV scout does confirm what's going on. Boys are being pulled. Factories on the way. Good reaction. Good scouting here by ByuN. He knows. He knows what's going on. He's getting ready. He will lose one SCV, but he should be secure as he does pre-pull the boys. Boys are pre-pulled. Reaper a bit exposed. Yeah, Reaper is targeted. Another SCV goes down. Ryung does pull away. And Ryung, he should not kill ByuN. He shouldn't be able to kill him. Command center's in production. So far, 2 SCV kills. Reapers, they poke in. Once again, more lost mine time. Getting another SCV, not bad. Getting up to 3. Marine going to be going down as well. Brutal pickoff. Ryung, he pulls back. Behind this should be expanding. Factories on the way. CC on the low ground. Ryung, he is building up, and so far good damage, and again lost mine time on top of that, so Ryung has had the better economy, and Ryung is transitioning out of this in towards a longer game. Whew, okay, again, very tense early game here, and again Ryung, he has done enough to make this worth it. Again, he doesn't kill ByuN, but does contain. Likewise, he sees the army. Ryung, he rotates over towards the right-hand side. Again, does spot the Hellions. Can't quite push in. Ooh, KDH should put me off. Takes down one of the 3. Very nice control. Oh my god. Ryung, calm down. Pappy, playing like ByuN. Calm down, Pappy, calm down. As we see Ryung rotate once again. Oh, does overextend though. Yeah, he will lose one of his Reapers as he runs into the Hellions. Was hoping to tank a shot with those Raxes, or with the Rax. And from here we're building up. Ooh, fast 30. Bold move. Fast 30C out of Ryung. And this is almost a role reversal of game 1. Game 1 on Ultra Love, where we have instead this time ByuN going into his own starport, into medevac, into drop across the map. Cyclones on the way. ByuN is going to go for a counterattack, a massive counterattack, might I add at that. Meanwhile, Ryung is being greedy here and is going to be vulnerable to set attack. Oh boy. Ryung going for his own Cyclone drop as well. And we'll see who catches who. Now, Ryung does have a spotter depot, or sorry, spotter racks. To scout to confirm, basically an overlord. He will miss the medevac. He will spot the main army, does see the Cyclone. And will miss that drop as Hellions are moving out. At the same time, Cyclone into the main, Reapers towards the natural. Hellions not at home to defend. And can he get some damage done? There is a Cyclone in the main. Yeah, ByuN should be fine. Should be fine. Does zone away. Drop making his way across the map. Ryung does have units at home to defend, but not quite in the main. Yeah, he's vulnerable. He's vulnerable. Drop comes in. Hellions, they pop off. They get 2 shots. Yeah, 2 SCVs so far. Boys being called. Oh god, they stack up. Oh no! Oh my god. They do snag. 4 SCVs. Whew. 5 in total. That could have been so much worse. Let's get 5 SCVs, and the medevac does not get away. Medevac gets picked off. Likewise, Liberator across the map. Ryung does poke in, trading at some Marines. We get some decent pickoffs. Uh-oh. Does boost away. And back at home, it's going to be, what, 3 SCV kills, 4 SCVs and a mule, 5 SCVs and a mule. ByuN does take an economic lead. Head in workers. Head in economy. Still very tense. Interestingly enough, we do see Ryung taking an upgraded advantage. He does have 1-1 on the way already, as well as Stim. Upgrades that ByuN doesn't have. He is aware. He did scout, of course. He does know that he's behind when it comes to the upgrades, but not the biggest upgrade disparity. Third TC now finishing up for ByuN. Ryung, his is already done. Bear that in mind. Did have the faster expansion, and should be able to land on location as well. And we're getting into the mid game. Getting into the mid game. Third base is now being taken. Game is going to slow down. Okay, we're calming down, back. We're calming down. Calming things down. Ooh, both players saturating their third bases. We can take a breath. And we can settle in. We can settle in. Sure, there's an early Stim timing for Ryung, but Stim is soon to finish up for ByuN as well, so he's not too far behind when it comes to set upgrades. Is catching up. Ryung, he rotates over towards the third base of ByuN. ByuN going for his own drop right down the middle. We've been here before. We saw this on Ultra Love. ByuN just setting it right down mid.
Research.
Ryung, he doesn't actually have much of him to defend. He's out of position. And this may deal crippling damage. Oh boy. As back at home, we have the minimal units to defend, but this can still be enough for ByuN. Scans at a time, stims in, disables one of the tanks. Tank does on siege in time. Disables the second tank as well. And here comes the double drop into the main. Now there are units to defend. Ryung, he does have an army. Tank will siege up. Does hold on. Meanwhile, drop into the third. Likewise, Ryung, he does supply block his opponent. Oh, more SCV kills though. Yeah, more SCV is going to be falling. Combat shields in favor of Ryung. Bear that in mind. He has better upgrades. Better upgrades for Ryung. He defends, but he will lose 15 SCVs. Oof. Yeah, he loses so many workers. He does deny the third, which is nice and all, but ByuN still enjoys a much greater economy. Nice catch. Gets a medevac. Oh, ByuN, he will overwhelm this. Yeah, he just has a vast amount of Marines. I say that, never mind, the disables, they pop off. Oh my god. Ryung, he takes the fight, takes down all 3 tanks as well. He's crazy. Takes down the tanks, shuts down the ByuN. I mean, again, combat shield's just now finishing up, so that was still in favor of Ryung. He still had the better Marines. But finally, he's going to be cleaned up. Finally, he has to pull away. But here come the reinforcements, and Ryung, he does have that supply lead. He has a massive army in comparison. Now, this time he no longer has any Ravens, so no longer any disables. Despite that, look at the units tab here. 42 Marines to 16. He should be able to stim and win. The boys are being pulled in desperation. Every single SV is going to go down. And Ryung, he will overwhelm. He will overwhelm. He will take this. GG gets called. Ryung, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. Whew. GG. Ryung, he does take a lead, and Ryung is now 1 game away from claiming the series. We'll see if ByuN can fight back and force the ace match. The pressure is on. The pressure is on. And again, we'll see if he can recover. Ooh, it's not easy playing against Ryung. Again, like, he's known for having the best TvT in Korea. It's not easy to overcome. He is the tuna Terran. True. Is the tuna Terran. But I want to believe in an ace match. Regardless of how this goes, regardless if this goes the way of ByuN or Ryung, I would love to see an ace match between these two. Give us a game 5. That's all we want. Take us all the way. And here we go. As our next game is going to be on Killer's Mile. Okay. Again, we featured this map quite often so far tonight. We've spoken about how aggression can be quite favored on this map. Aggression can be favored, but we'll see how our players will approach this. I can't imagine that Ryung's going to proxy 2 games in a row, but we've seen stranger things before. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the other South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. Here we go. Whew, as this time, no SCV. There's no SCV on the map. This time there is no proxy from either player. We're just building up back at home and settling in. Once again, talking about the map itself, we did speak about how difficult it can be to protect and to defend the third base. Rush distance by ground is quite short, and we have seen multiple times already in this series ByuN just send it across the map. Just, just throw caution to the wind and just send it, just commit right down mid. And he has every time dealt critical damage. We'll see if we can do it again. I'm sure that'll happen at some point in this game. When it comes to the openers, economic. It's going to be a single gas from ByuN, single gas... Oh, my apologies. I'm blind. Single gas from ByuN, so ByuN is going for an economic opener. Ryung opening up safe, double gas. Double gas into a faster factory, into faster Hellion production. If Ryung was being proxied, then Ryung would have the advantage. If Ryung was getting 2x Reaper, then Ryung would also have the advantage. But here in this kind of game state, I do lean towards ByuN, as ByuN is able to gain that faster CC, and chances are Ryung won't be able to punish it. You can see ByuN scouting, making sure he's safe. There's that command center on location. Now, Ryung will have a faster starport timing because of this, and he can potentially go for an early drop across the map. We have seen that quite a lot already here in this series, with the early Cyclone drop. Because this happens so often, though, I would imagine that ByuN is aware and is going to be getting ready for that, once he realizes what's been going on. Jesus, you see that jump? Oh my god. Jumped across the screen. Checking for proxies. Checks the triangular third location. And stays parked on top of the ramp. Factory's finishing. We do have our setup. As we mentioned, there's that faster starport for Ryung. So 1-1-1, fastest starport here from our Korean Terran player. And from here we could see early Cyclone into early push. ByuN back at home, settling in. Bearing in mind, neither player has scouted each other, so no one knows what's been going on, no one knows how greedy or how aggressive either player is being. We're just playing blind. Often is the case in TvT. There's the Cyclone, and we're waiting for the medevac. Yeah, there it is. Medevac is on the way. Again, we've seen this same or similar opener here out of Ryung, I want to say like 2 or 3 times so far in this series. Now I think this is the 3rd time. He's very fond of it, which is why at this point ByuN should be used to it. And is getting ready with his own Cyclone, setting up defensively back at home. And here we go. Ryung, he does boost across the map. He's got his 1 Cyclone, 2 Reapers, 1 Hellion. He's got a couple of Marines. A bit of a kitchen sink kind of push. But ByuN should be fine. Like, ByuN is not being overly aggressive. He doesn't move out across the map. He's chilling back at home. Has what he needs to defend. Lock it on the Hellion. Hellion does get saved, at least for a moment. And the army is going to be forced back. ByuN defends. ByuN, he defends, he shuts us down. Lock-on gets broken, and so far a solid start for our red Terran. Again, like, the problem here is that Ryung has gone for this opener, he's gone for this start so often in this series that ByuN, he's just playing it safe. He's just playing it safe. He's like, you know what? You're probably just going to keep doing this. Let me just stay at home. let me just defend. It's crazy. The tank is exposed though. ByuN out of position. Boys are being pulled. The tank is going to be saved. Whew. Okay, nice repair. Does save the tank. That was a scary moment here for ByuN. It's terrifying. ByuN does hold, and Ryung, 3rd CC. 3rd CC is on the way. Likewise, I can say the same for Ryung as well. Well, sorry, for ByuN, for both. So both Terrans, they rush into their 3rd. We have a Raven production on the way here for our blue Terran, and I believe ByuN is going to be add-on solving. Yeah, it does add-on solve. So we've seen this before, as we do get a drop into the main. Nice juggling. Lock-on is broken. Nice control there from Ryung. But like we've seen previously, and I'm brought back to Ultra Love, if I recall correctly, we do see... No, is it Ultra Love? Yeah, Ultra Love. We do see that ByuN is going to be only making a handful of Ravens. He makes 2 Ravens here from the side of our red Terran player. Our blue Terran is investing into additional Ravens. 3rd Ravens on the way. Ooh. Cyclones are shut down. Instead, ByuN goes for a faster add-on swap into Vikings. So he will have air control. He's pushing. ByuN does have that supply advantage. You can see Ryung setting up on the high ground. But of course he can be disabled. There's a scan. We have the spotted Marine. We have the disable. And with that, Ryung, he has to abandon this. The tank does fall. Massive pick off. Ryung is in trouble. He doesn't really have much of an army. He has 1 tank on the way. Yeah, he has nothing. He has nothing to defend. He is out of position, and with that, ByuN is going for the kill. He's going for the kill, going for the throat. Ryung, he has to pull back. And you can see just the direct path right into the natural as well. Ay. We spoke about how aggression is favored at the 3rd base, but even here at the natural, it just hits so quickly. And that's good. This might just be game. This might just be game. 13 SCV kills. Mining is denied. More rally across the map, but ByuN takes his 3rd base on location. And Ryung just doesn't really have anything here to break out. Now, he has preserved his Ravens, and they're coming in from behind. We go for the Mass Disable. Nice on siege, though, here out of ByuN. Yeah, auto charge save by time. And with that, ByuN, he saves his army. He does save the army. Boys are being pulled. The tank does siege. Again, the unsiege was brutal. And with that, GG gets called. We are going to the ace match. GG, ByuN. He punishes, he breaks out. And we're going to game 5. Let's go. Whew. Let us go. Again, a pretty intense game 4. And because of that, I'm a little bit concerned here for Ryung. I'm concerned for his opener. I feel like for the most part, ByuN, he almost hard countered Ryung with how defensive he was being. It was almost uncharacteristic seeing ByuN be that defensive and be that safe early on. But clearly, like, that's the way to approach Ryung, at least so far in this series. So did really well adapting, was able to shut him down early on, defend, GG. GG, well played. Was able to snowball out of control with his tank production. His Vikings did a great job zoning away as well. There was definitely an opportunity for Ryung's disables, but as you saw, ByuN was so quick to unsiege his tanks. Even though he got disabled, he saved every single tank. Disable the tanks, and that leads us all the way into the ace match. And this could go either way. This could go either way. Our next game, though, we're going to be loading into Erahome. Erahome is the smallest map in this tournament map pool. This is known for aggression, known for rushing. This is known for cheese, for all-ins. Oh boy. Now, something that we've seen quite a lot in this map in TvT is 2-port 2-base all-ins. We've seen that quite a lot, actually. It's a build that's a little bit out of meta, but Cure did it recently. I want to say, not Clem, of course. Clem doesn't play TvTs. Yeah, I'm thinking of mainly Cure. I think Cure has mainly brought that out. Curious to see if either ByuN or Ryung willing to indulge in that as well. There's another Terran that I'm thinking of. I might be thinking of Bunny. I might be thinking of Cure and Bunny. Here we go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Erahome, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the other South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. Here we go. It all ends here. It all ends on Erahome. Not the map that I was expecting, I'll be honest. But let's go. Let's embrace it. As we have our standard opener here out of ByuN, going for the initial Rax expand. Keep an eye on Ryung. Double gas opener here out of our Blue Terran player. So once again, we have the same builds and the same openers we had last game. With Ryung going for the faster 1-1-1 into faster Starport, into faster Cyclone drop. Meanwhile, ByuN opening up more economically instead. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself. Every time that we've seen Ryung open up double gas, it has led into that Cyclone drop opener. Doesn't have to lead into that, but we've seen that time and time again. We'll see if that trend continues. Personally, I would not want to see it. I mean, I am torn. I wouldn't mind seeing it here on Erahome just because how small the map is, but in a vacuum, I wouldn't mind seeing it on this map. Specifically in the context of this series, I would be opposed to it just because of how often Ryung has relied upon it and how heavily the last game went in favor of ByuN. So here comes the CC on location. Ryung is scanning for proxies. Does check the natural, checks the third base location as well. He's setting up on the low ground as well. From here, we're expecting Tech Lab, we're expecting Starport. We're expecting Cyclone, but we'll keep an eye on Ryung. We have our Red Terran going for the add-on swap into Reactor to Hellion production. Okay, interesting. ByuN is mixing it up. Opening a Reactor to Hellion. This can lead into a Hellion drop. Bear that in mind. We did see that on a mid left, if I'm not mistaken. See that earlier in the series. Meanwhile, Tech Lab on the factory. We'll see if we set up for an add-on swap. Oh, there we go. Safety Cyclones on the way. Marine production as well. Now, I'll be honest, Cyclone, an early Cyclone push, an early Cyclone drop, I do actually favor against Reactor to Hellion. If you remember, last game we didn't have Reactor to Hellion, we had defensive Cyclone instead. That is not happening this time. Okay. Meanwhile, we're not going for the drop. Alright, we're mixing it up. So both players are mixing up their openers. ByuN is committing to additional Hellion production. This is very aggressive. This is designed to break through the defensive line of units and to get into a mineral line and to roast up some SCVs. So very aggressive build here by ByuN, going mass Hellion. Meanwhile, Ryung, add-on swap, no medevacs. 0 medevacs here from Ryung. He has decided to just give up on his early pushes and early timings that he has been relatively successful with, but less so over the course of the series, going for earlier tank into earlier Raven. Usually he would open up double Cyclone. Here, only 1 Cyclone into tank. Now, how does this all unfold? Because of the mass Hellion that ByuN has, I think the early tank is going to be a little bit better here, assuming that he's able to secure the natural. We'll see. We'll see what ByuN even goes for with all these Hellions. I'm making the assumption that he tries to bust into the natural, but we'll see. We'll see if he's able to. Cyclone production now on the way here for ByuN. Building up his own Ravens. The tank count is going to be in lead here, or I should say Ryung is going to have the tank advantage over his opponent. He'll have the tank lead. Just because, again, he only opened up with 1 Cyclone. Ooh, second starport's on the way. If you're good thing we brought it up. If you remember at the start of the game, I was talking about how like we've seen a lot of 2-port 2-base all-ins, and that's where I was bringing up Cure and then Bunny. I was bringing up Cure and Bunny. They've been very fond of 2-port 2-base all-ins. Meanwhile, the mass Hellion has been scouted. Ooh, Cyclone goes down, massive pickup. But this is a 2-base 2-port all-in here from Ryung. Taking from Cure, taking from Bunny. Again, it's been quite trendy on this map. But a rough start for Ryung. He will lose map control. ByuN being greedy, getting his 3rd CC on location. This is dangerous. Now, when it comes to this build that Ryung's going for, to explain a little bit, what a 2-base 2-port all-in entails is mass Viking. As you can see, we're making 3 Vikings at a time. This will ensure that Ryung takes a Viking advantage and a Viking and an air control lead. He also has more tanks as well, so he has a tank lead, he has a Viking lead, and this usually ends with 1 Liberator. And the purpose of that Liberator, of course, is to bully the ground army, which you should be able to, considering that Ryung has the air control with mass Viking. Now, Scan does see the setup, but does not see the 2nd starport. So, ByuN only has a piece of the puzzle, but he does have the ramp. True. Does control the ramp. Ryung has to be careful. Does have to be careful here. Now, he can lead the charge with his air army, with his Vikings. Yep, scans at a time. Does see the setup. Ryung, he pulls away. Pulls away for the time being. He's still making more Vikings. We're waiting for the Liberator. Not here yet. And ideally, Ryung, he wants to lead the charge with his Vikings. Maybe catch a Raven. Catch a Raven. And then push forward with his ground army as well. 3rd CC's on the way. Now, this is a late 3rd base out of Ryung compared to his opponents. ByuN is already on location. So Ryung, he has to get damage. Ryung, he has to get damage done with this. He rotates. ByuN is in position. Are we going for the rocks? Yeah, we're going for the rocks here. We're going for the 3rd. Still very tense. Viking count is in favor of Ryung, of course. He's got 9-6. Oh! Ryung has to pull back. Gets 1. Brings out 1 Viking. He's moving in. Doesn't commit. Doesn't commit yet. Rotating over. Getting, almost another Viking. Ryung is looking for an opening. Does try to push up the ramp. Boys are being pulled. He does commit in. And here come the Auto Towers. Auto Towers get thrown down. Nice disables here on the tank line. And ByuN, does he have enough? He does. Yeah, he breaks on through. He breaks the siege line. Mass disable. And again, Ryung, he gets broken. He's going to get completely broken here. ByuN has done it. He has done it. He breaks through the main army. There's 1 tank left. It's not going to be enough. Whew. And GG gets called. GG, the 2-base all-in fails. And ByuN, he will break out. He will take the series 3-2. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, from the side of Ryung, the purpose there was ideally to zone away the Ravens, and he failed to do so. He wasn't able to zone them away. The disables, they popped off. If he was able to deter those disables, then maybe he could have broken through, but alas, the Ravens were the MVPs there for ByuN, and he will overcome, he will overwhelm, he will take down Ryung. GG. GG, well played. Fun fact, this is the first time that ByuN has actually beaten Ryung in 2025. Let's go, let's go. Up until this point, we've actually casted all the series. Ryung has been able to defeat him in Sparkling Tuna Cup and in Alima League as well. So ByuN, he breaks Ryung's win streak, does claim a series. Did go all the way to the ace match. It was still very close and very intense, but GG. GG, well played. ByuN does claim it. And with that, we're getting ready for the final series of the broadcast. We're getting ready for a rematch. Oh boy. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the Wikipedia page yourself. Oh god. So you can have a look at the Wikipedia page as we are catching up on the bracket. Here we go. Here we have them. We do have ByuN. ByuN does take the series. Hold on. ByuN does take the series. Does advance on. Hold on, I think. Let me fix this. But yes, ByuN does take the series. I don't know why, but something's wrong with our spreadsheet and Ryung is highlighted there. But ByuN does advance on, and we have Rogue versus ByuN in the decider match. Let's go. They're locked in the decider match. The winner of that series, of course, will make it into the playoffs. And this is going to be a rematch. As you can see here in the first series of the broadcast, Rogue did take down ByuN 2-0. And we'll see if Rogue can replicate that success or if ByuN can recover and bounce back. Let's go. Let us go. Because it's set to best of 3. It shouldn't be. It says best of 5. But with that, we're going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have the final series. We'll have that decider match. See you soon after the break. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon.